Okay, this is asynchronous work for PreCalc, assignment 49, chapter 4-8, page 335. And example 7, we did in the class the algebraic way. And this is simple harmonic motion. And letter A, if you read this, the definition of the simple harmonic motion, it's maybe it came with a diagram here. The diagram at the beginning diagram shows this way, right? And amplitude is from 0 to positive 10, which is when it's this spring is all the way out. And when spring is shrink, it's going to be, you consider it's negative 10. So amplitude is 10, is going to be plus minus, okay? And this omega value is trig information here, sine omega, right? So when they ask frequency, it's omega divided by 2 pi. And when they ask the period, 2 pi divided by omega. So those are things you have to remember. And they give you the formula, which is D equal A cosine omega t, or D equal A sine omega t. So if it goes to vertical, we use the sine value. And so example 6, we use the sine value. Example 7, we use the cosine value because it's going to be vertical. So I use the same diagram and made it, I'm sorry, it goes to horizontal. So if its value is 6 here, it's called amplitude is 6. So this is a given equation. Let's review the question A. So what is max displacement, which is, so this is the max value, and minimum value is -6. So this is when it's shrinked, right? It's -6, and when it's expanded, that's 6, right? So that's one thing I want you to know. That's question A. Okay. Now, B, frequency. All you have to do is plug in here. So omega is 3 pi over 4 divided by 2 pi. So this is what we did, 3 over 8. 3 over 8 on the equation, it's, let me see, it's right here, around 0.375. Just remember this value here. Letter C. Letter C is, I'm sorry, letter C, question C. The value D equal when T equal 4. So you plug in T equal 4. So when you plug in T equal 4, make sure you're going to do the equation first here. So 4 and 4 cancel, so it's going to be 3 pi. Cosine 3 pi is what? So if you look at the unit circle, cosine 3 pi. So this is 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. It's going to be right here. Cosine is a green value, so it's going to be -1. 6 times -1 is -6. Just remember this value. This is question C. Yeah? Question D. Least positive value of t, which d equals 0. Okay, if this is 0, it has to be cosine value times t. Cosine 3 pi over 4 times t must be 0 too. So when cosine value becomes 0, think about it. So it's going to be, cosine value is green, so green is 0 here. Cosine value is -1. Cosine value is 0 again here. Cosine value here is +1. So only two locations, which is pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2. What they asked is the least positive value. So I just did two equations here. One equation is pi over 2. which is right here. The other equation was 3 pi over 2, which is here. So if you plug in those values, 3 pi over 2 is when t equals 2. If it's pi over 2, it's going to be 2 over 3. So this is least positive value. So we go with this. Yeah. Now, when we try to run this algebraic way, right? We plug in everything ABCD to this formula. Okay. Now, I said I would create a video for this using the graphing calculator. So this is a graphing calculator, and what we have to do is just think about it. So it's going to be from 0 to 2 pi set up. So when you write the equation here, first you have to do y equals sign here. Y equals sign, and it's you plug in here. I think I got the error message there in the class because I didn't think about this t here. Right here, let me open this. So this is the d equals 6 cosine 3 pi times 4 times t. 3 pi over 4 times t. Okay. T is the x values because we don't have t here. So this we have to treat t equal x. Okay. Evaluate t and x. Okay, d represent y. So then this is going to be y and x graph. Now, t is a second. So second goes to this omega times omega. So therefore, 3 times t times pi is going to be numerator. That's why I wrote down here. So it won't be error. So if you put outside, x is going to be outside of this, you might get error unless you put the parenthesis a very certain way. So it's easy for me to think this way. So that's the reason why I plug in this way. Now, run through. After you input this data, go to Windows, make sure 0 is minimum, x minimum, and 2 pi is here. 2 pi is x max, so you write them 2 times. Go here, pi here, enter. So they come on the decimal. X scale is 1 is, I think, pi over 4, right? So if it's this showing 3 pi over 4, it's just plug in pi over 4 here. So pi divided by 4. So they come up the decimal. The window on the y-axis is 8 and -8. It's because it's this amplitude is 6, so I want to capture everything, highest and lowest. So let's put -8 and for minimum and 8 for maximum. Okay, 2 points. It's a unit for the y units, and let's run this, and it's going to be, this is fine. Okay, now let's go to the first question. A was max displacement, which is what's the max value here? So you hit the trace. So this is the max value, which is the 6, right? So y equals 6. So that's the answer. Maybe you can go here too. No, it's okay. So this is 6 too. So it's obviously 6. Letter B, they ask the period. The time is the time for the graph to complete one cycle. So one cycle goes from here to here, right? So that is 2.67, right? Now, one cycle divided by 2.67. Let's think about this. 1 divided by 2.67. Okay, that's the frequency. So look at it. The answer I had before on the algebra was 0.375, but the graph showing 1 divided by 267, which is from here to here. 1 unit divided by 2.67, second, it's going to be 0.37 per unit of time. Okay, of the time, I think it's per second. So that's letter B. So that's frequency. Now letter C. What was letter C? Value of D when t equals 4. So let's look at t equals 4. Graph. So this is, so x equals 4, right? So let's go here. So now I'm hitting x equals 4 here. Oh, so right here, right? And go down here. So this is the value. So x equals 4 is a minimum is, oh, so -6, y equals -6. It's just, it can't be accurate here. So this, as you see, this letter C, it's, I think there's a setup that you can go exact value here. But when t equals 4, d equals -6, which is x equals 4, y equals -6. Okay, the last question was letter D. Oh, where's letter D? All right here. Okay, the least positive value of t for which d equals 0. D equals 0 means x, y equals 0, right? So d equals 0 means y equals 0. So which is right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. So it must be right here. So what's this value right here? That's the intercept here. 0.71, okay? 0.71, which is, what was my algebra answer? Yeah, where's my equation? So that was 2/3, 2/3. So let's go back here. Clean up. 2 divided by 3. 0.66. What was the graph? Trace. Right here, right? 0.66. Okay. So that's how I look at it. And if you have any questions, just go through the textbook, and I will help you if you come to my office hours. So it's for today's asynchronous work. It's a weekend music. This is called Jody Grind. It's by a famous composer, Horace Silver. Have a nice weekend.